All right, guys. So pretty much, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more again on what we've been learning in terms of the field layout. Okay, as you can see, it's like this here is the center of the pitch. Okay, when we talk about neck runs, okay, this and this is the neck of the field. Okay, so you got two necks, you got the center, okay, and then you have the width. Okay, again, different teams use different systems, right? So you can look at it like Stanford, they double the width all the time in terms of like they always get an overload on the width, but they kind of break it up into two extra channels. Okay, and that's the way they play. But again, the center is from here to here, but you can also 6 to 6, right? Some fields are smaller, but this is what I mean generally about players staying in the spots. Like as a center back, you don't want to get drifted, especially if you play in a 3 or a 5. Sorry. Okay, you don't want to come to the width as a center back. Okay, so that's what we talk about. All right, and if you play with 2, kind of same thing. You want to stay a little bit tied to the center, and as you guys rotate and split apart, I mean it's fine, but again, you don't want to leave the necks of the field. Okay, so obviously you want to play when you play in 2, you want to stay relatively closer to the necks and the center, like right in between those. Okay, so that is the layout of the pitch. So when we talk about neck runs, okay, it's obviously from an 8 or a 10 roll. Okay, attacking mid roll is like, can we make these neck runs? Sorry, in behind, right? So these are neck runs. That's what we talked about today. We were talking about overlaps, etc. on the width, all right, neck runs inside. So it all kind of stems from the same idea of the passing patterns that we do, right? So we may have one out here, we may have one out here. All right, so this looks similar, right? If we put it into a passing pattern, okay, what we were working on today was a little bit more like this, rotations of 3, okay. But again, it's like, can we make these neck runs or can we make the overlaps, etc. So that's just to get you to understand a little bit more of what we've been doing, okay. But again, the same thing obviously comes into like when you play in the 3 back. Obviously, we're not going to put all the players in here, but in the 3, it's like you're in ball rotation here. These 3 are ball rotation, right? So how do we release? Maybe we can put this guy inside and then come to here, and we release into 2, and then this guy can come into ball rotation, right? So of course this is more from an 11, right? But when we do Oscar drill, I think that's what we started calling it now. When we do Oscar drill, right? It's like we only have those 2, right? So it's like, when do we release and when is the timing to release, right? So if you look at it, like this is Oscar's drill right here, right? So we have 3 in ball rotation. We got 2 inside, 1 high, 1 low. How can we find the time to release, right? So if the ball comes out here and we go in rotation, maybe this guy releases, then we go into the next of the pitch, etc. Maybe this guy can make the neck run, etc., right? But again, just to help you understand, these are the dimensions. Again, these are only systematic for some certain teams. This is just the width city, right? This is just one area of the width, and they overload the numbers. But this is the neck, that's the neck, and this is the center. Okay, and then obviously on to the next thing is the dimensions. So obviously we have, so probably say that's defensive third. You should know this by now. Okay, that's mid third, and obviously attacking third. Maybe you can put this line a little bit in there, but that's that idea behind it. So defensive third, if we're going this way, mid third, attacking third. Okay, so again, it's systematic, right? Some teams have a different mid third shape as opposed to a defensive third shape, etc. right? So to get you to understand a little bit of what we do, okay, for example, a systematic play would be, let me really quick delete the board. Okay, whoops. Okay, so just to help you guys understand, know a little bit more about another system. Okay. Right, so this is obviously got the goalkeeper, right? So we have a system of 3, right? This is how Man City plays now, a little bit, right? And they go 2 inside the next, right? And they got the 9 in the center. Obviously the rotations happen like we've spoken about, but we got 1 on the width for support, right? So we always got ball rotation, right? So the ball goes all to the way to the width. Okay, then if the ball's all the way on the width, then this guy slides in. Okay, this guy maybe makes a neck run, etc. He tucks inside. Okay, obviously we got one in the middle here, but the ball rotation is now, if you look at it, what does it look like now? Oh, I don't know what this one is. Okay, so the ball rotation is now here, 3, 2, width, right? You can make the neck run, the 2 in gaps, right? Extra support, and then we go higher here, right? So it just doesn't really change the way you see it, right? 3 in ball rotation right here. Okay, so we got, 3 ball rotation, 1, 2, 3, right? We got the 2 inside, the width, okay, the other width, right? Maybe he can decide to go higher, etc. But again, it's just that understanding, okay? But that's just that's just another way to look at system, okay? So that's how City plays. Now, of course, you ask, well, if it's John Stones, etc., like how do they fix it, right? Okay, so the thing is, City defends in a 4-4-2, right? So this guy comes in here, and there, and there, and this is how they defend. Okay, that's how City defends. They defend in a 4-4-2 block. Okay, these guys pinch inside, right? Sometimes they press with wingers, sometimes they press with 2s. Okay, regardless. So, right, when they get the ball, though, right, how do we rotate this? Okay, a 9 comes inside, right? Obviously, one of these is the option backs. Okay, so that meaning, depending on who they play with, right? If this is Kyle Walker, he never goes inside, so we're not pushing off the right side. So this is a natural winger. Okay, so then we have either John Stones coming inside, right? And it creates the 2 inside. And then, right, this being 7, don't look at the numbers, but this is now, let's say there's Ake or Guardiola in there now, right? That's Grealish. This player moves inside. Do you see how that works, though? With John Stones, this guy coming inside. That's how it works. Okay? This is what they transition. This is what a lot of systems do now. The top teams, this is the way they play. The hard part is, can you get the players to play inside? Because you have an overload of numbers. And you still have the support here to balance encounters. And you have the width to help you if you need, like, to rotate, etc. Okay? So I know there's a lot of info, but I've been wanting to tell you guys this for a minute. Okay, again, it's just for your understanding of the field dimensions, a little bit more systematic view as well. Okay, and this works also in a 4-3-3. If you look at it, right, it's still a little bit like a 4-3-3, but except you got, this is one winger, that's another winger. Your fullbacks are really high, right? Let's say your fullbacks, and these are your 3 in the middle. Okay, so it still stemmed from the 4-3-3 where you're trying to get 5 on the last line. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're trying to get 5 on that last line to push them back. but it stems from this 4-3-3 look. But instead, how can we get an advantage of numbers inside to control the mid a little bit more? Okay, so again, it's still, so obviously those that play 4-3-3, which a lot of you do, just understand this rotation, right? So let's say that we're talking about Deacon being this 8 role. Okay, you got to know when to drop in, when to stay a little bit higher within the next. And this is the areas you guys have to occupy. All right. And again, like for example, Pedro, we were talking about the other day how to manipulate from here, right? You being the left center back, this is your holding mid, etc. It's like, can we face our hips going this way? Obviously, we know our fullback is there. Let's say your winger stays. It's like, how do we manipulate to get this guy the ball, all right? Or can we take the space, all right? And then this guy does your job, and obviously he would be in the center, etc. So still the same look, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, and if you have questions, let me know. But look, and the whole point of this is resources to help you guys and help you see the game different. Okay, now when you watch the games, can you look for these kind of things, these actions? For example, the best neck runner I've seen to this day is probably Jude Bellingham. Obviously, he's brand new, but fuck, like his timing of the neck runs is unbelievable. So just watch it. Things like that to look out for, you know. But so let me know if you guys have any questions.